All set.
Did you know that only 7% of a person's life on average is spent outdoors? Hi, I'm Dillon, and I have filmed, directed, and edited a short film as my final project. I have set out to answer one question: can a film's cinematography have an impact on an audience, while simultaneously exploring why we spend so little time outdoors and the magnitude of things there are to do out there? Now you might be wondering, why would he make a film for his project? Well, if you don't know me, here's a little of my backstory. My love for film began at my Nana's house when I was incredibly young. She fostered my growth and has helped me so much with many areas of my life, in addition to most of my family in my early years. In addition, at that time, I would make stop-motion short films while having my Hot Wheel cars race or moving a ball of Play-Doh around. Now, if you don't know, stop motion is a very labor-intensive and patience-testing style of filmmaking where the filmmaker sets up every individual frame of the film. These early little tidbits might not seem like much in the grand retrospect of one's life, but this time was instrumental in cultivating my loves, passions, and essentially my whole existence moving forward. This passion was further strengthened when I was assigned a filmmaking class in the 5th grade. At this time, I was attending the Three Rivers School in Pembroke, New Hampshire. In this class, we were taught the very basics of filmmaking. It was then that I realized that this is what I wanted to do with the rest of my life. Filmmaking became something that I wanted to fully pursue. It may have just been making short little 1-minute videos on iPads with iMovie, but making these films made me feel such an intense confidence and belief in myself that I never wanted to give it up. And after that, I talked to my parents about wanting to pursue film more, and that same year, I signed up for all the Concord TV video and filmmaking summer programs. These camps only intensified my love for film, as it was even more fun than the original classes I remember, only with professional equipment such as real film cameras, industrial editing software, advanced lighting, full-size studios with green screens, and more. I attended these camps year after year up until 2021, when I passed the age cutoff for the camps. At which point, I had made such a great connection with the staff of Concord TV that they asked me to be a camp counselor that summer, and I graciously accepted. It was such a nice feeling teaching the campers how to make quality films from start to finish. I cannot explain the incredibly rewarding experience that I gained from that time. Knowing that you could be teaching and inspiring the next generation succeed in filmmaking, thus keeping the field of something you love alive. I took the rewarding role of camp counselor for 2 years. As you can see, I have been involved with film for nearly my entire life and have enjoyed every second of the way. Now, to answer my question, can a film's cinematography have an impact on an audience? I believe that it does, but just to be sure, let's find out. Now, I started this project, as most smart people do, with research. A lot of research. Firstly, researching all things mountain biking and filmmaking. I found out all sorts of interesting information about mountain biking, like how to properly go over a jump, how to deal with rooty trails, and even how to adjust the seat suspension on my bike itself. Then, on the other side of my thoughts, I discovered even more about filmmaking and cinematography. I learned more in depth about color symbolism, how to use light to convey emotion, the major importance of zoom and blocking, and so much more that I couldn't fit into this talk. Everything further deepened my love and enjoyment of this subject. In this research, I found a study from the Belgian Society of Cinematographers that I feel confidently answers my question of can cinematography impact an audience? According to their data, the cinematographers confirmed that cinematography can impact audiences. The study explained that a group of cinematographers took a scene from the Nightmare on Elm Street movie, changed the editing, and of course cinematography, until they had two different versions of the same scene. They showed the different scenes to a test audience and asked afterward to fill out a survey. The test showed that 49% of people thought that the more changed version of the scene was more suspenseful, and 46% felt that it was more impactful than the first, less changed scene. Now, looking deeper, something that I found interesting from this study is that while a whole 46% of the audience thought the second clip had more impact on them, only 33% of the audience thought the second scene was scarier than the first. However, a whopping 35% said the first scene was scarier, and the other 32% said that they were about equal. So I ask, why would a major majority of the audience say that the second scene was more impactful, but in this case, not as scary as the first scene? One could infer that cinematography adjusted their view. Next, I moved past researching to begin filming my project. Now, I had a blast while filming the shots I needed and editing the clips into a concise masterpiece. I'd be lying if I said there weren't challenges that I'd have to face along the way. The main problem I faced was the difficulty of getting to numerous places, due to my schedule. My initial plan was to bike and film at 10 different locations, but due to life's obstacles, I only made it to 5. I probably shouldn't be admitting this in my talk, but I also struggled heavily with procrastination throughout the semester and throughout this project. With my film turned in and complete, I now realize I could have been a whole lot more effective with my time management this semester. But instead, I stuck with the motto, you can't rush perfection. But all in all, I got the job done, and that's that. Now back on topic. While I was at the different locations filming, I had this feeling that I was making something impactful. While out in the middle of the woods, either with Nella or not, I developed this unbelievable gratitude for life. I had so much fun filming with my rides, and even more fun riding in general. While I spent a decent amount of hours riding, I spent many hours editing the film. If you've never edited a film, learn this from me. Do not procrastinate on the editing. This is always and will always be the longest part of your filmmaking. I spent over half of my project hours editing this. When I was finally finished my film, I showed it to a test audience of a few people and got their opinions and feedback, very much like the study I previously mentioned. Afterward, I took the feedback into consideration, paired it with my own beliefs, and reworked the film to make it flow better in my eyes and the eyes of my audience. The final product is a work of gratitude, dedication, and effort despite any challenges in my path. Now, looking back on my experience, I can confidently say that it has made me a better mountain biker and, more importantly, a better filmmaker as well. Every project that a filmmaker does can sharpen their skills and help them better develop and define their craft. At first, I thought this final project was going to be difficult and time-consuming. I'm not saying it wasn't, but I started this and I was very nervous and worried that I wasn't going to get it all done and that I was going to fail before I had even started the project. But with some confidence and a lot of hard work, I managed to get it all done for the final film I am proud to present. I started this semester with dread surrounding the actual verbal presentation and a mindset that I somehow needed to get out of. But now I end this semester with newfound confidence, a completed film, happiness, and one more semester under my belt and one step closer to graduation. I end with a few lessons that I picked up along the way. Number 1, always keep your head up, which I learned in a literal sense during my rides and more metaphorically throughout the semester. Number 2, I learned not to stress over things while working through the project itself. And number 3, try to spend more time outside. Whether that be mountain biking, skiing, creating films, or whatever else you choose, try to be more than 7%. I know I will be. Thank you. Do you have any questions? Yeah, what's up, John?
How long were you counseling for?
I did it for about, I would say, like 20 hours a week for 4 weeks. What's up, Emmett?
What's your favorite obstacle to go over on the bike?
Rocks are pretty fun to roll over. Jumps are pretty good to go over. What's up, John?
Where did you
I was probably like, I don't know, like 7 or 8, pretty young. Yeah, Jess?
How long is the film that you made?
It's about 8 minutes long. It's just like a little short documentary.
Was a lot of the filming done at Highland, or was it other places too?
It was, I filmed it over 5 locations.
Really smooth. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, man.
Top 3 favorite colors.
We got neon green, we got normal green, and we got dark green.
It is his signature color.
Any more questions? Just keep bombarding me, guys. That doesn't